There's a person in your life right now. You know exactly who I mean. The one you keep making excuses for. The one you keep giving chances to. The one who takes and takes and takes. And somehow, it is always you who apologizes. You already know this person doesn't value you. You have known for a long time. The only question is, why are you still there? This is the story of Marcus, and the hardest walk he ever took. Marcus was not a weak man. He was intelligent. Hardworking, loyal, the kind of man who showed up early and stayed late, the kind of man who remembered what you said 3 months ago and asked about it today, the kind of man who, once he called you a friend, meant it completely. But Marcus had one flaw, one quiet, costly flaw. He stayed too long, in friendships that drained him, in situations that diminished him, in relationships where he gave everything and received in return almost nothing. Not because he didn't see it, he saw it clearly, but seeing something clearly and having the courage to act on it. Those are two very different things. His closest friendship was with a man named Troy. They had known each other since university, 15 years of history, 15 years of memories. Road trips, late nights, shared struggles. The kind of bond that feels permanent, like family, like something that cannot be broken. And Marcus held onto that feeling. That sense of permanence, long after the reality had changed, because the Troy of 15 years ago and the Troy of today were not the same person. Today's Troy canceled plans without apology. Today's Troy borrowed money and forgot to return it. Today's Troy talked about himself for an hour and never once asked how Marcus was doing. Today's Troy called only when he needed something. And Marcus, loyal, patient, faithful Marcus, always answered, always showed up. Always gave, always told himself, he's going through a hard time, he'll come around, this is what loyalty looks like. His younger sister Diane watched this for years. One evening she said, Marcus, when is the last time Troy did something for you, not asked something of you, not needed something from you, but actually did something for you? Marcus opened his mouth and closed it again. He thought back through the last year, the last 2 years, the last 5, and he could not find a single moment, not one. Diane looked at him gently. Loyalty is a beautiful thing, she said. But loyalty to someone who doesn't value you isn't loyalty, Marcus, it's just habit. The breaking point came on a Saturday in November. Marcus had been planning his father's 60th birthday. For 3 months, a dinner, small, meaningful. Just the people who mattered most. He had invited Troy 6 weeks in advance. Troy had confirmed, twice, I'll be there, brother, wouldn't miss it. The morning of the dinner, Marcus was setting the table when his phone buzzed, a message from Troy. Hey man, something came up, can't make it tonight. Tell your dad happy birthday from me. No explanation, no apology, just something came up. Marcus read the message 3 times. He felt something move through him, not quite anger. Something older than anger, something that had been building for years, quietly, like water rising behind a dam. He typed back, okay. One word because there was nothing else to say. He put his phone down. He finished setting the table. He smiled through the dinner. He laughed at his father's stories. He was present. Completely present. For everyone in that room, but underneath. Something had shifted, something permanent. That night, after everyone had gone home, Marcus sat alone at the kitchen table. He didn't feel sad. He felt something stranger than sadness. Clarity, the kind of clarity that comes after a long fog finally lifts. He thought about the 15 years, all the times he had driven across the city, because Troy needed a favor. All the money lent never returned, all the plans canceled at the last minute, all the conversations that were really monologues. Troy talking, Marcus listening. Troy leaving, Marcus sitting with the emptiness. He thought about his father's birthday, and he asked himself, quietly, honestly, if I had done this to Troy, if I had canceled on his father's birthday with a text message, what would have happened? He knew the answer immediately. Troy would have been furious. Troy would have called it a betrayal. Troy would have reminded Marcus of it for years, but when Troy did it, Marcus said, okay. And that was the moment he understood. Not just about Troy, about himself. He had accepted treatment from Troy that he would never have accepted from a stranger. He had made excuses for behavior that he would have recognized as unacceptable in anyone else. He had lowered his standards, quietly, gradually, over 15 years. until he was standing in a hole so deep. He had forgotten what level ground felt like. Why? Because of the 15 years, because of the history, the memories. The road trips, the late nights, because walking away from Troy felt like walking away from a version of himself. The young man he used to be, the friendship that had once been real, the belief that people don't change. That loyalty is always rewarded. That if you just give enough, people will eventually give back. He had been holding onto a ghost, loyal to a memory, of someone who no longer existed, and here is the truth. The truth that nobody tells you. About walking away from people who don't value you, the hardest part is not the anger. The hardest part is the grief. Grief for the person they used to be. Grief for the friendship you thought you had. Grief for the years you spent waiting for them to become who you knighted them to be. Walking away doesn't feel like freedom. Not at first, it feels like loss. It feels like failure. It feels like you are the one doing something wrong. Even when you are the one who was wronged. Marcus sat at that table for a long time. Then he opened his journal, and he wrote, "I am not walking away from Troy. Because I hate him, I am walking away. Because I love myself enough to stop accepting less than I deserve." He read it back, then he wrote one more line. "It is not a betrayal to leave someone who was never really there." He closed the journal, and for the first time in years, he felt like himself again. Walking away from Troy did not happen in one dramatic moment. There was no confrontation, no final argument, no speech. Marcus simply stopped initiating, stopped rearranging his schedule, stopped being the one who always reached first. He didn't block Troy. He didn't send an angry message. He didn't explain or justify or perform his exit. He just became still and waited to see what Troy would do. When Marcus stopped doing everything, the answer came quickly. Troy texted once. 2 weeks later, "Hey man, haven't heard from you. You good?" Marcus replied, "Yeah, I'm good. Busy lately." Troy sent a thumbs up emoji, and that was it. 15 years, and that was it. A thumbs up emoji. Marcus had expected that to hurt more, but it didn't, because the truth was, the relationship had already been over. For a long time, he had just been the only one, still showing up to something that had already ended. In the months that followed, something unexpected happened. With the time and energy he had been pouring into Troy, Marcus turned toward the people who had always been there, his sister Diane, a colleague named Patrick, who always asked real questions and actually listened to the answers, an old friend from childhood he had lost touch with, who, when Marcus reached out, responded within minutes and talked for 2 hours, like no time had passed at all. These people had always been there. He had just been too busy maintaining a one-sided relationship to notice them. He thought about a garden. A garden has limited space, limited water, limited sunlight. If you spend all your resources on plants that don't grow, on roots that take everything and give nothing back, the flowers that could have bloomed never get the chance. Marcus had been watering dead roots for 15 years. Now, finally, he turned toward the living things, and they grew quickly, beautifully, naturally, the way good things grow, when you finally give them room. So how do you walk away from people who don't value you? Not with anger. Anger keeps you connected, just in a different way, not with a speech. People who don't value you rarely hear those speeches anyway. You walk away with something quieter, with dignity, with clarity, with the simple, powerful decision to stop giving your best to people who treat it as ordinary. Here is how you know it is time to walk away: when you are always the one who initiates, and they never notice when you stop. When you make yourself smaller so they can feel bigger. When you leave every interaction feeling emptier than when you arrived. When you have to remind yourself of reasons to stay instead of feeling them. And here is what walking away actually means. It does not mean you hate them. It does not mean the good times weren't real. It does not mean you are giving up on people. It means you are choosing yourself. It means you understand, finally, completely, that your time is not infinite, your energy is not infinite, your heart is not infinite, and the people who receive those things should be people who know their value. You are not a last resort. You are not a backup plan. You are not someone to be called only when everyone else is unavailable. You are a first choice, or you are practice, and you are too valuable to be anyone's practice. So today, look at the people around you, not at the history, not at the memories, not at who they used to be. Look at who they are right now. Look at how they treat you right now, and ask yourself honestly, does this person value me, or have I just gotten used to being undervalued? If you know the answer, trust it, you already know what to do. You have known for a long time. The only thing left is to be brave enough to do it. If this story gave you the courage to make a difficult decision, share it with someone who is still holding on to something they need to release. Because somewhere out there is a Marcus still setting a place at the table for someone who will never come. This video is for him. This video is for you. Thank you for watching.